Um, what would you say brought you back to the USL Championship in general after playing the season up in Canada?
Um, that's a good question. I think that I went to Winnipeg. I enjoyed my experience. And I think that things just didn't work out the way they were supposed to while I was there. And I decided to come back to the USL. I think that I really enjoyed my time in the USL with TFC2 and then with Charleston Battery. And I rate the league highly, so I thought that it would be a good move for me to come back to the USL.
Yeah, you were saying you played for TFC2 back in 2015 when they first joined the USL Championship. So, how have you
Right.
seen the league develop in those 5 years since you first played in it?
Yeah, no, it's come a long way. I think that I definitely know that there were a lot less teams. I think that the quality of play was much different back then as well. I think that the games were probably less quality, less high pace, maybe less physical as well. So I think the league has grown significantly since 2015, and it's just kind of cool to be there for the process and see the growth. Yeah, the league is, I would say, pretty strong right now.
What was it like getting that base of development with the TFC program from the academy on up to TFC2 and just training with them and
Hmm.
being a part of that structure? What did that bring to you as a player?
Yeah, so I wasn't there with the academy team. I got drafted there. So I guess my relationship with them really started in 2015 when I got drafted there. But it was a great experience. I know there's so many high level professionals within that system, top to bottom. That's the organization, all the way through the coach to the players. There's a high level professionals there. So it was just great to be able to learn the game from individuals that have proven to be a great for the league. So it was a great experience for sure.
What about your time at Syracuse and the American college soccer system coming from Canada? What drew you to that type of a situation there to further yourself?
Um, I think it was a simple fact that the sport of soccer is a little bit bigger in America than it is in Canada. There's a lot of opportunity if you go the D1 route, especially as a young adult, knowing that the professional route doesn't always work. So the school, you get high quality, you get education as well, which is massive. I know that I'm very thankful that I was able to graduate from a school like Syracuse. So to be able to play and get an education, I think was definitely one of the biggest factors that attracted me to that route.
What did you study?
I studied economics.
Okay. Have you put that to use at all? Maybe negotiating your own contract or anything like that?
I really wish I could give you a cool story about how I still use economics, but I feel like I mean, maybe here and there, but nothing too significant in economics.
Okay. Well, everything is economics when you think about it. Everything's a market, so it'll apply. That's
Sure,
one way to
yeah.
look at it.
Hmm.
In your first 4 games here, you've been leaned on pretty heavily. I don't know if you expected to get this volume of minutes, but you've been a rock back there on the back line. So, what would you say you feel like your role is on the team right now?
I think that you explained it best, to be honest. I feel like I'm a natural defender. I love defending. One of my main goals every game is to make sure that the other team doesn't score. And I think that I just have to continue to play that role. Just make sure that I'm the guy in the back that's reliable. I have experience, and I think that it's up to me to use that. I need to be reliable. I need to stay consistent. I need to be a vocal leader. I think those are the things that I bring, and those are the things that I'll be looked upon to continue to bring.
As an individual, one thing that stands out to me, you stand at 6'4", so I'm sure you've been the type of guy that people lean on to win balls in the air. How is that as far as your preparation for a game? You probably feel like you have to be that guy, right? When you're of that stature.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like I have to be that guy, and I don't think that I think that's the way it should be. If you're a striker, I think that you got to be thinking, I have to be that guy to score the goal today. And as long as we all know our roles and we all believe that we have to be that guy to fulfill that role, I think that's what makes a great team. So yeah, no, I feel like as a tall 6'4" center back, I have to be the guy to win the balls in the air for sure. Yeah.
Not just counting your goal, New York, 8th minute there to get you guys off to a good start on Sunday, but also it feels like from what I've watched, you're a target pretty frequently there on the free kicks. Do you have a strategy or any kind of fundamental that you stick to try to get yourself open and to make sure that the guy taking the kick knows where you are at all times?
Right. That's another good question. I think that I've been thinking about that. Like, how do I score goals? Like, what do I need to do to score goals? And I think a lot of it is just confidence, to be honest. It's not necessarily the run that I make, or it's not necessarily how quickly I was, or who was defending me. I feel like if I'm able to think back about when I score goals is when I most feel confident. So I think that my routine, as soon as I know it's a corner kick, I'm walking up to the opposing box and I'm thinking about, okay, let's get on this ball. Like, let's figure out a way to find this ball. Like, once you get to the ball, you're gonna do well with it. So, like, just kind of building myself up and gaining the confidence I need to be successful, I feel like.
The guy who assisted your goal, Canardo Forbes, he's going to be the top assist man in USL Championship history sooner rather than later. It seems
Right.
like what it stands out about his ability, because every time I talk to anybody on your team or maybe even other teams in the league, they always say, oh, this guy's so underrated and he's better than he gets his credit for. So what are his strengths that pop out to you?
Yeah. He is very underrated. I feel like even myself, I've been in the league, and I guess I've played against him. And I guess I didn't really think too much about him. And I heard players say, "Yo, he's so good." I'm like, "Yeah, he's pretty good." But like, I see him in training these days and in games, and it's just like the fine details of how good he is with the ball at his feet, and how deceptive he is with turning or making a pass through a seam. He's just very sneaky. He's very intelligent. He knows how to get into good spaces. He's very disciplined. I would say that he's extremely fit too. He's able to do defensive work and he's able to provide for the attack. There's just so many different things that I think that Kenny does. Assist being one of the few of them that is definitely top class.
Well, speaking of fitness, how did you handle the COVID-19 shutdown? It's something that really nobody who's alive today has ever experienced, especially not from a professional athlete standpoint. So I know you
Right.
guys had some Zoom calls, you had some things like that, but what did you do to take it upon yourself to make sure you were ready to go once the full team practices started again?
Right. Yeah. Besides Zoom classes, I would go outside and run pretty frequently in the morning, just to make sure I got that base of fitness that I would need to enter preseason or however long preseason was going to be. I also started training kids through Zoom online.
Hmm.
And I found that even though I was there for them and I was making sure that they were creating the right training habits and getting the work that he needs to get during quarantine. But I found myself putting in a lot of work on my end, demonstrating the drills or participating in a lot of the exercises with them, just to kind of, ramp up that schedule and get a little bit more work in, I would say. Yeah.
Over your career, how have you tried to increase your fitness level? Because soccer, it just seems like every year it gets faster and faster, even if you're playing on the back line. It's not like you can be slow-footed out there. So do you have any strategies or thoughts on how you've been able to stay on the cutting edge?
That's funny. I feel like it was me and a few of the other guys the other day. We looked at the temperature. It was like I would say 95 degrees out. We just knew that we are gonna do a lot of running. We're like, yo, I don't even know why we chose this game. Like, there's so much running involved in this game. Yeah, I feel you. But I mean, a lot of it for me is definitely, I guess during this time it's kind of difficult because some people still feel unsafe going to gyms. So I don't know if that's an option for everybody. I know that I'm not really in the gym as much as I used to be. But I think that you can get a lot done with literally just your body weight, with some bands, some free weights. I think that staying fit right now is challenging, but I feel like if you dive deep into it, you realize that you can really stay fit with little to nothing.
How well did you know Jordan Dover and Ryan James, a couple guys from Ontario, not from your hometown necessarily, I don't think, but guys that I'm sure you heard about coming up? Has that helped your fit with the team at all?
Yeah, for sure. No, it has. I'm actually I'm really grateful for those guys. I knew Jordan very well. We both played for Ajax growing up. He was on the team that was a year younger. But we would travel together, play against each other. So I've spent quite a bit of time with Jordan Dover before coming here. Ryan James, not so much. But I would definitely say that it's helped me fit into the team much quicker. Just having familiar faces and guys who I really respect close to me in a new environment is it's perfect.
Looking at the team results so far, 2-2, a couple of heartbreaking losses last week. No other way to put that. But at the same time, you also grinded out a win at Louisville to start the season, and a really nice performance at Philadelphia Union too as well. So does it feel like 2-2 is fair, or do you feel like you guys left some points out there? You should be better than where you are right now. What's your scope on that situation?
I think that everything happens for a reason. I feel like we're 2-2 for a reason, and I feel like it would be almost unfair for me to say that was fair. I guess we conceded late in 2 games. It is what it is. We're 2-2 right now, but I think that even though the season is a little bit shorter than we thought it was going to be, there's plenty of opportunity to grow as a team right now. I think how many games we have left?
12.
So we got 12 games left. I think that's plenty of time to include different members into the group that are coming back from injury, to build chemistry and start operating a little bit more like a team than we already have, and we've proven to be pretty solid so far. So I think that it's just taking the steps we need to take to improve on our outcomes.
What's it been like playing for Bob Lilley? He's a guy who has a great reputation in this league, and I love talking to him. I feel like I get a soccer education every time we chat. But he's also very demanding too. He's not a type of guy who's going to be laissez-faire. So how's it been the first 4 games?
Yeah, no, that's cool that you say that you get a soccer education from him. I feel like he's all soccer. He's very passionate about the game. And I feel like I often find myself learning from him with different points that he makes or the messages that he's sending. So I guess almost regardless of what level you are, you get a soccer education when you're playing for Bob. And yes, he is very demanding. He knows exactly what he wants his standard to be, and he's, I would say, literally never willing to I guess drop the standard, right? Mm-hmm. Which is it's tough to play for a coach that's like that, but if you're able to make that mental shift, the sky's the limit, right? He's going to keep you to a standard that you were probably uncomfortable with before, and that's going to spark some growth.
And lastly, I know it's been weird. You guys have been on the road quite a bit, and the protocols for COVID are pretty stringent, as they should be. Right. So has that taken any extra energy or time to prepare for when you are away from home? Just because on the bus you have your own, I guess, little area you have to be in, a hotel, common area, you got to have your mask on.
Right.
How much does that get the wheels turning when you're out away from home?
So I don't think it's any one thing that really affects the difficulty of what's going on right now. I think it's the compilation of everything, just the combination of so many different things that are being put together in a time like this that does make it difficult to stay focused right now, to train, to be productive, to go on road trips. Being away from home is difficult, but it's the fact that it's being away from home and you have to social distance and you don't know if the season is going to be played out or not. And there's just a whole bunch of different things that kind of take up your mental space, which makes a few things right now difficult, I would say, for sure.